Hello students, welcome to section 8.2, and today we'll talk about how to simplify exponential expressions. So the learning target for today is I can simplify exponential expressions. So the procedure, step 1, I will multiply fractions together to form one fraction, combine bases in the numerator using exponent properties, combine bases in the denominator using exponent properties, move negative exponents, combine bases using division property, and rewrite variables alphabetically. Now, this may sound very confusing, but once we try a few examples, I think this will be clear. Just a little warning or little hint, you don't have to follow my steps. You can do some problems in a slight different way, and that is fine. But again, ask your teacher and talk to your teacher if your steps are okay. Okay. So example number 1. I have basically two fractions, and what do we do? So if you look at our rules, I will multiply numerators and I will multiply denominators. So let's take a look over here. So we have 5x to the fourth y cubed times 3x cubed y to the fifth. So first, what is 5 times 3? Now the confusion is, do we add it or multiply? No, we are multiplying. We are doing 5 times 3, which is 15. Now we have x to the fourth times x to the cubed. X to the fourth times x to the third. If you remember the rule from the other video or other class, when we multiply and we have the same basis, we are actually adding the exponents. So it's x to the seventh. So this will be x to the seventh. And then what is y to the third times y to the fifth is y to the eighth over. Now let's look at the denominator. First question is, what is 8 times 6? Again, we are not adding 8 plus 6. We are multiplying. 8 times 6 is equal to 48. And I have x to the fifth and y to the fourth. They don't have the same basis. Therefore, I cannot combine them. So that will be x to the fifth times y to the fourth. Now, can we leave this answer the way it is right now? And the answer is no. First question is, can I somehow simplify 15 over 48? The answer is yes. 15 can be written as 3 times 5, and 48 can be written as 3 times 16. So this will be 5 over 16. So this will be 5 over 16. Now, we have x to the seventh over x to the fifth. If we have the same basis and we divide, we basically subtract. 7 minus 5 is x to the second. And same thing happens with our y to the sixth and y over y to the fourth. 6 minus 4 is 2. So your final answer can be written as 5/16 x squared y squared. Question number 2. I am going to, if you look at the numerator, we don't have any like basis. So I'm just going to rewrite this. I'm going to write 20 x to the 14th y to the 10th. All I did is I used commutative property. 5 times 3 is same thing as 3 times 5. So I can rearrange it. And I will do the same thing with the denominator. So 2 stays 2. But I have x to the third times x. Please remember, x means x to the first. So x cubed times x is x to the fourth. and y to the 6th, I will bring it down. What's 20 divided by 2? Please remember, we are not subtracting. 20 divided by 2 is technically 10. What's x to the 14 over x to the 4? Is 14 minus 10, which is, it's 14 minus 4, which is 10. And y to the 10th over y to the 6th is y to the 4th. That's my final answer because I don't have any negative exponents and I already simplified everything. Question number 3 looks challenging. Okay. I think first step should be we should simplify this. And again, as I said in the other video, you can solve each problem following different steps. Okay. You don't have to follow my steps. If you can do this in a different way, most likely it is fine. So the first fraction, I will bring it down. 2x to the 6th, y to negative 4 over 6x cubed. Now times. What do I mean by 4x squared y to the 3rd? This means 4 cubed, which is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. X squared to the 3rd is x to the 6th, y to the 3rd over 12y to the 5th. Okay. Probably the best thing to do is to simplify some fractions, but I will just multiply the numerators. 2 times 64 is 128. X to the 6th times x to the 6th is x to the 12th. And y to the negative 4th times y to the 3rd is y to negative 1 over 6 times 12. 6 times 12 would be 10 times 6, 60. That would be 72. X cubed, y to the 5th. Now, how can I simplify 128 over 72? 128 over 72, they're both even numbers. So 128 would be divided by 2 would be 64. 70 divided by 2 is 36. They're both even numbers. 64 divided by 2 is 32. Over 18. Again, both even numbers, which is 16 over 9. And that's your final, the simplest term. So this will be 16 over 9. Okay, this is getting tricky. X to the 12th over x to the 3rd. 12 minus 3 is equal to 9. So that'll be x to the 9th. Okay, but this part, I would like to take some time to explain this. Y to negative 1st over y to negative 5th. Positive 5th. Okay, this means y, when we divide, we subtract. So negative 1 minus 5, which becomes y to negative 6. And we just said a few minutes ago, or in the other video, that we cannot have negative exponents. So this will be same thing as 1 over y to the 6th. Okay, so this will become times 1 over y to the 6th. So your final answer would be 16x to the 9th over 9y to the 6th. Again, this problem was challenging and I like it. And I'm challenging you to solve this problem somehow using different steps. Okay, so that's a challenge for my students. Thank you for watching this video.